All right, Facebook. Are you gonna work? I don't think it is. Ah, it's going this time. Cool. Woo. Do you think that self-care is overrated? Welcome back to Guidance and Recovery Sobriety Journeys, a recovery podcast with your host, Keegan. Today we are joined by a woman who is a literal master of the unseen forces that dictate our mental health. Tenya Eickenberg is an energy healer and anxiety coach who specialized in the emotion code and body code modalities. After spending years in the ordinary world of chronic depression and anxiety, she found a path that traditional medicine often overlooks. She's released a book titled Self-Care is a Frequency, and she's here to show us that healing isn't just about talking, it's about clearing the energetic blueprints that kind of keep us stuck in our past. So, Tenya, welcome back to the show, and I got a question. What hill are you willing to die on?
Oh, that self-care is a essential part of life. It is um, un it is a deliberate act that everybody needs to do every single day. Like it is something,
Mm.
it's like brushing your teeth.
It's like
It
brushing
is.
your teeth, huh?
It is. It is like it is the same as brushing your teeth. You need to have a self-care regimen
Mm.
that is going to allow you to continue thriving in life. And if you're not already thriving in your life, it will, with the help of other, like, I always pair self care and energy work together because energy work gets rid of the static. Self care is going to help keep you there once you notice how you're feeling without all the static.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to put that. But isn't brushing our teeth already self-care enough?
No, that's hygiene. That's
Oh, gotcha.
hygiene. Yeah. So
Okay.
the self care that I'm talking about is not bubble baths, a glass of wine, going away for the weekend. That is, while those are acts of self care, that is not the self care that I'm talking about. That is going to set you up for consistent breathability.
Hmm. Okay. Huh.
So
So, what exactly are we talking about? Because, I mean, energy is in play in this, and brushing our teeth doesn't get rid of that energy, except for maybe bad breath energy. But if we're always sitting here just kind of being told that we don't need to look after ourselves in some ways, how do you suggest someone actually change that outlook?
well, first I wouldn't make it a checklist.
Mm.
Don't make a list of stuff that you need to check off and do every day because then self-care becomes more of a chore than a part of your lifestyle.
Okay.
And there are different types of self-care that I recommend versus what somebody else might recommend. For me, self-care includes mindfulness, meditation, sitting with yourself, really just tapping into that inner being and finding out what is it that they want.
Mm.
What is the reason that I'm here for today? So that's
Okay.
always a question I ask when I get into my meditation is what is my goal for today? And it
Mm-hmm.
might be my goal might be not doing nothing, which
Hmm.
is one of my favorite things to do is to not do anything.
Yeah.
It might be that you know what your body really needs to rest today and so I think you need to just curl up on the couch with a good movie, a good book and just let your body rest. And
Okay.
sometimes it's curl up on the couch and don't turn on the TV, don't read a book, but just lay there in silence because your eyes and your brain need a rest.
Hmm. Gotcha. So it almost sounds like doing less is doing more.
Sometimes, yes, it just all depends on what it is that your body is telling you. And it's really about listening to your body instead of what's coming through your mind because your mind you're going to have these thoughts that come from past teachers, parents, bosses, anybody who said, "What are you doing laying on the couch?"
Hmm.
But it's not just about not doing nothing. Sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
about doing something. Sometimes your body's saying, I need to move.
Yeah.
I need to go for a walk,
Uh-huh.
right? I need to
Yep.
do, maybe I need to dance. Maybe I need to do some yoga. Maybe I need to, do some strength training. So physical activity is another form of self-care. And we have these human suits that have all these joints and these muscles, and they are meant to move. And
Mm-hmm.
when we go to an office job for 8 to 10 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, we're sitting for 7 of those hours,
Yeah.
and your body is not getting the movement that it needs.
No, not at all.
Right. So that is another form of self-care, is getting that movement. And even if it's just standing and shaking your body back and forth and doing the slap, where you just, go like that, you just slap your kidneys and it's getting the energy in the body to move.
Hmm. Okay. So, whenever we're talking about this kind of self care, real quick, what is your favorite act of self care? Or does it just kind of, I guess, like you said, it just kind of depends, right?
It does depend on, now, yes, it does depend on the day. It depends on, um, what did you sleep well the night before, right?
Okay.
That's another act of self-care, is are you getting adequate quality sleep?
Mm,
Are you staying up until 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning on your phone scrolling through or watching movies, and or are you getting 8 hours of sleep?
mm,
Is 8 hours of sleep enough for you, or does your body actually crave 9 or 10?
mm.
So
Okay.
if you're not getting enough sleep, everything else will start to fall apart. Like, sleep is, I think, the most important act of self-care that one can do.
Okay.
Because if you don't give your body enough time to rest and recover,
Mm.
then all the other stuff is going to feel like it's not working.
Yeah. That, oh, I agree right there.
Yeah. So sleep is really my favorite,
Okay.
because I know that my body is going to rest and recover for 8 to 9 hours every night. And
Mm.
I've gotten my body so well trained that it knows when it's 9 o'clock. Even on the weekends, I start, if we are, my husband's in a band, and so they typically play out on Saturday nights. And I'm like, can you guys play from like 2 to 5? Because they start playing at 8. And
Oh,
at 9 o'clock, I'm like, oh God, I'm so tired. Like, I'm tired.
uh-huh.
And because I'm a supportive wife, I stay there until midnight. And then
Mm.
I pay for it Sunday and Monday, because I know my body didn't get the sleep it needed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel like I had been out partying all night when really I wasn't. I was just sitting there.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, if you don't get enough sleep, it really does make everything else harder to do.
Mm. Yeah. So I guess there's that saying, waking up on the wrong side of the bed has a lot more to it than we really thought, at least for myself growing up, because I was always like, I only have one side to wake up on because the bed is right next to the wall.
Right. Yeah, it does give meaning to that phrase. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and if you just pick your sleep to work on in the beginning of adding in self-care, it can be a lot. And I want everybody to understand, who's watching, is that any big change in your routine is going to feel like a lot.
Mm.
So if you typically go to bed at 11, but you're not going to sleep until midnight, and you're getting up at 6 to get the kids up or to get ready for work, you're only getting 6 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But what kind of quality is that? Because if you're on your phone until midnight, right? If you're
Uh-huh.
on your phone scrolling until midnight, you still have that blue light that's affecting you until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Hmm.
So then you're really only getting maybe 4 hours of sleep.
Oh, wow.
And if
Huh.
you're drinking coffee late in the day, that's going to mess up your circadian rhythm.
Hmm.
And so there's all these little things that can impact your sleep that most people don't want to change.
Hmm.
It's very hard for people to give up caffeine.
Yeah.
It's very hard for people to give up their phone at night or
Mm-hmm.
take the TV out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
those are very hard things for people to do
Mm-hmm.
because they don't think it's affecting them as much as it may be.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally understand that whole TV thing. You know, we usually fall asleep with like Disney playing on in the background or something, and it's not loud or anything. It's just kind of there, and it
Mm-hmm.
serves its purpose. But at the same time, it's kind of like, do we really need it? Probably not. But it's a habit at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I told my husband when we first got married, and now this was before thin TVs. I mean, this
Mm.
was the big tube TVs when we got married.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, I don't want a TV in the bedroom.
Mm.
And he was like, "Why?" I said, "Because the bedroom is for two things only, for
Mm.
sleep and
Yeah.
sex.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a TV that you put on, then yeah, usually that interrupts both."
Mm. Yeah. Definitely.
Right? Because you get enthralled with the TV show,
Mm.
and you're up later, or your partner is like, okay, I guess they're interested in the TV and not me, so I'm going to go to
Mm-hmm.
sleep.
Yeah.
So we've never had one in our bedroom.
Huh.
Um, and we've been married almost 30 years this year, so I think it's been
Oh,
quite helpful.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Um, but after so we've talked about a little bit about meditation. We've talked about sleep, and what other one did we talk about?
Cutting out caffeine is definitely one of them.
Yeah, cutting out caffeine. Um, but all of these, doing these things, and then the other things that I mention in my book, Self Care as a Frequency, they change the frequency in which you are emitting.
Hmm. Okay.
Because if you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not getting adequate sleep, eating a diet that is more beneficial than hurting your body,
Mm-hmm.
doing some mindfulness, physical work. That's what it was getting physical, going for walks, that kind of stuff.
Ah.
Journaling,
Mm-hmm.
find some place to get your thoughts out, and so that they're not so pent up, so they're not just being stored in your body. But taking care of all these little things can help you to retune your own frequency.
Huh. Okay.
So if you're living a life where you feel like nothing is going right for me, my boss is always on my case, I can't lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
um, my kids don't listen to me, my husband's not paying attention to me, or my wife's not paying attention to me, my car keeps breaking down, uh, bills are late, like all these little things that really cause us stress.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll shake them off as, oh, it's just, I forgot to write it down on the calendar, or they had a long day. We kind of brush it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that is an indication that your frequency, the vibration that you're sending out, the tone that you're sending out emitting from your body is out of tune.
Hmm. Okay. So all those things going wrong is kind of saying like it's a wake up signal almost.
I think so. I think
Hmm.
so. If your listeners are any part of the woo woo environment,
Uh-huh.
they'll get it, because when you talk about like manifestation, when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about your words create your reality, well, your emotions and your words, the emotion that you have behind those words is that
Mm-hmm.
vibration that you're sending out. And so if you're sitting in a state of, oh, woe is me, everything is happening to me, why is this happening to me? You're sending out that vibration um, of, and I hope no one takes this the wrong way, of being victimized by life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are sending out that frequency, you're
Mm-hmm.
attracting more of that frequency.
Mm.
So when you start to take care of yourself and
Mm.
start feeling better about yourself and about where you're at, then you start to attract more of those things into your life that are better for you, that are going to move you forward in the direction that you want to go.
Mm. Okay. So it's not necessarily like opposites attract, kind of like
No,
magnets, right?
no. Nope. It's you attract, like attracts like.
Okay.
Unless you're
Gotcha.
talking about a magnet. But if anybody has read the book or seen the documentary The Secret,
Mm.
like attracts like.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if they say it in that or not, but your emotions, how you feel, what you put out into the world. Like if you vent to your friends all the time, you're just going to get more things to vent about.
Mm.
If you vent about how sick you are all the time,
Mm.
you're just going to attract more reasons to be sick. Because the
Mm.
universe is saying, this is what you want. This is what you're talking about. This is the emotion you're putting out there.
Uh-huh.
Consciously, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Hope.
Consciously, right. Consciously, we're not putting out there that we want to be sick. Like we want to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're and I've been there, so this is what I can attest to for myself is when I wasn't feeling good, I got so much attention from my husband, from my kids, from my parents, right? When we're not feeling good, we get all this attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're feeling better, where's that attention I was getting when I was sick? Yeah.
Just
So
goes away.
it does. So as adults, our sick might come in the way of chronic illness, autoimmune diseases, um, you know, constant migraines, constant colds, allergies, just anything that's going to make us feel ugh.
Mm.
Because when we feel ugh, we get attention.
Yeah. Ugh. Ew.
And yeah, so and that is for us, even though on a conscious level, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I myself have felt this, and I have spoken to other, and I can only attest to the women that I've spoken to about this, that the one thing that scares them about getting better when they really are honest with themselves,
Mm-hmm.
it's, well, if I start feeling better, then who am I?
Mm. Yeah.
Am I still going to be taken care of like I'm being taken care of?
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of losing that connection they have when they're
Mm-hmm.
in that lower vibration.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and that unfortunately it makes sense, because whenever I first started my recovery journey and stuff, I was reading a book and it was Constructive Wallowing, How to Beat Bad Feelings by Having Them, and I was like, this is stupid. But it taught me that, I was always like, what is wallowing in self-pity? I was like,
Yeah.
it's a bad thing, right? But to wallow means to be enjoying it. And so I was like, oh, so if I'm wallowing in self-pity, it means I'm enjoying the self-pity, which why would I be enjoying that? And after that, my mindset did kind of shift, or slowly started to. And it's weird though that we find ourselves saying these, what we think is good,
Mm-hmm.
like venting. We think that doing this is good for ourselves and just getting it off of our chest per se. But at the same time, it's kind of telling the universe like, hey, this is actually what I want a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more, so that I can keep getting whatever I'm getting out of this venting.
Yeah.
So I guess in your book, you talk about how to kind of make that frequency not be like, oh, woe is me, but oh, it is me, or something like that, right?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. It's a book of things that you can do to
Okay.
retune through self-care. And I actually put the truth system in one of the chapters in talking about um, your emotions and feeling your emotions, and that your
Mm-hmm.
emotions are not scary.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm glad that you brought that up, because like it was so inspiring for me. Um, but it's not a like I in the book I tell them you can read this in any direction you want. You don't
Mm.
have to read it from front to back. You can pick a chapter and just read that chapter. You don't even have to do anything that's in the book, because
Mm.
it's I can't make anybody do anything.
Yeah.
It is strictly a book of information that helped me to rebalance my frequency.
Mm.
After I did, and energy healing is part of that rebalancing, but I did the energy work first, because I used to think that self-care was bubble baths and weekends away and a Hallmark movie with a hot cup of cocoa. Like
Yeah.
that's what I used to think self-care was.
Mm-hmm.
And while those things are wonderful, they're not what's going to retune your frequency on a consistent basis.
Mm.
Retuning your frequency through energy work and self-care is going to give you back the life that was always yours to begin with.
Mm. Okay. So, I mean, how obviously this stuff doesn't work as in like, oh, you do it once and you're done, but it
Nope.
also doesn't necessarily happen to where it's like, oh, I did it and I instantly feel better, or
No.
does it?
No. No, it doesn't actually. It's um they say do something for 21 days and it becomes a habit. Do something for 60 days and it becomes a habit. You have to do these things. You have to do something every single day.
Mm.
So if everybody picks one small thing to do, and
Okay.
let's just pick meditation,
Okay.
right? When people start meditating,
Mm-hmm.
they might try to sit there for 10 minutes, and they're like, this isn't working. I can't clear my mind. I
Mm-hmm.
can't stop fidgeting. The kids keep knocking on the door. I can't pee in silence. I can't do nothing. I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you need to adjust, right? So maybe you're doing it too long to start with.
Mm.
Maybe you start with 2 minutes in your car before you walk back into the house from going to work.
Mm. Okay.
If you're a stay-at-home mom and you have 4 kids under the age of 5 all day long, then
Ooh.
maybe you do it at nap time, and you set whoever's not napping, you set them up with a half-hour show, and you go to the bathroom and you wash your face and you do some mindfulness washing of the face. You
Mm.
feel how your fingers go across your face with the soap, or how bubbly the soap feels. That is also meditation.
Mm. Okay.
It doesn't have to be sitting in silence, back straight, no one interrupting you for
Mm-hmm.
a half an hour. While that sounds lovely,
Mm-hmm.
if you're starting meditation, that is going to quickly turn you off to doing meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do walking meditation.
Mm.
Go for a walk and just feel how your heel and your toes hit the pavement.
Mm.
And walk slow enough so that you can feel how they move across the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the birds. Meditation for me is not about transcendence. It is not about the all divine light that is coming through the crown of your head, and all of a sudden you have all these visions.
Mm.
No, it's about sitting with yourself so that you can get to know yourself again.
Mm.
So that you can start to pay attention to the signals that your body is sending you. so that you can
Okay.
start to use your intuition again. Is my body telling me yes, or is my body telling me no?
Hmm. Okay. So it's all about learning that intuition.
For me, it was yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh.
And that was incredibly empowering
Mm-hmm.
because up until 3 or 4 years ago, I, I didn't even realize I had an intuition. I mean, I
Mm.
had mother's intuition, but like, and I had wife intuition, I had work intuition, but I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
my own intuition.
Hmm. Interesting.
And now I can tell, now I can tell that if there is something that I am not supposed to do, I can feel it in my body. My
Hmm.
body starts to tense up. I used to be able to watch The Walking Dead.
Okay.
It was my favorite show. I
Mm-hmm.
probably watched that series all the way through all 11 seasons 5 or 6 times.
Oh wow.
2 years ago, I wanted to watch it again. I turned it on and I got to, I think, like season 3 when the
Okay.
real violence really started, when Negan was like coming into the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel my body start to tense up during those violent scenes
Huh.
because my subconscious, that part of my brain, felt like I was there.
Mm.
And it was like, this is not good for your body to be feeling.
Huh.
Like, I mean, it was wild.
Yeah.
And now when I go to make a decision, like, um, I only have no examples, but like I was going to write a letter to someone, a family member that I love dearly, and we haven't spoken in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to write them a letter to let them know that I would love to sit down and have a conversation. And as soon as I started writing that letter, my body got all tense.
Huh.
I got a big ball in my gut, and I was like, it's not the right time.
Hmm. Weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Uh, I mean, so do you get like ringing in the ears or like a tingling sensation for like yes or no's?
For yeses, I get more of a whoosh.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, so if I get a yes, it's more of like my body relaxes.
Yeah.
And if
And
it's a
like some
no, my body tenses up.
okay. So the whoosh is kind of like the spirit guides or whatever pushing you like, yes, go that way, do it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
absolutely.
Okay. Real quick, I did want to bring up one method of, or I don't know if it's actually a method, but whenever people tell me that they can't meditate, I love to ask them, well, when was the last time you were driving, got to where you were going, and you can't remember the drive there? And they're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, that's meditation.
Yeah.
But it does make one wonder, like, is it safe though? And
No.
I,
Well, that's when we drive on muscle memory.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're driving on muscle memory, and we can disconnect from what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe driving on muscle memory is safer than driving up with all that pent up energy of being like, "Ah, why'd you cut me off, you son of a bitch?" Ah! You
Yeah,
know?
well, yeah, absolutely. But it is harder to pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you when you're zoned out that far.
Yeah, true.
It's hard to have that awareness because then you might, usually you get jolted out of that because you're hitting traffic, or there's something that is red light. Like you can still
Mm-hmm.
sense, you can still see those things, but you're being jolted out of that meditation. So while that is a form of meditation, like you said, I don't think it would be safe to practice on a regular basis. But you've got the concept right. It's taking yourself out of the current environment that you're in, and
Mm-hmm.
taking yourself into your inner self.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're sitting in meditation at home, a lot of people can't do the silent meditation to begin with because they do have monkey mind.
Yeah.
And that's completely normal.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of when I was first getting into meditation, you would hear that, you have to sit in silence, and you have to clear your mind, focus on your breath. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard to focus on your breath when you're thinking about, what am I going to make for dinner tomorrow night? Do I need to pull out the roast, or do I need to have chicken? What about potatoes? Should we do potato? You start going through all these things. And that's when people are like, this doesn't work. I can't clear my mind. Well, you're
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to. A good trick, if you want to do the silent meditation and really get to understand what's going on with your body, a what I always recommend is by focusing on your breath, you close your eyes and you kind of bring your eyes down towards your nose and
Mm.
focus on your nose, because that's where your breath is coming from. You're breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, as long as you're not stuffy. And when when you do that, then you can feel the breath hitting the top of your lip. And so that is where your focus lies. People say focus on your breath. They might go to their chest or
Mm.
their belly and see
Mm-hmm.
where they're breathing from. What helped me was focusing on feeling the breath leave my face.
Hmm.
That's what helped me. And then I would start my thoughts would start to flutter. And when you start to have the awareness that your thoughts are running away and you're going with them,
Uh-huh.
you can say, thank you for that thought, but we're not thinking about that right now, and come back to your nose.
Mm. Hmm.
Having the awareness that you're having those thoughts and being able to bring yourself back is where you're succeeding in meditation.
Hmm.
Because when
Okay.
you're focused on your breath, when you're focused on your nose, or even another body part that's you can focus on your chest. I just found it easier to focus on my nose. Um, but you'll find that you can lengthen the time that you're focusing on your nose.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to have thoughts coming in. Always. Our brains are meant to, someone explained it this way today, and I thought it was brilliant. Our brains are meant to scan for danger
Mm.
all the time.
Yeah.
And we've never learned in this society to not scan, right? Because none of us very few of us grew up with being mindful,
Mm.
being with ourselves, being with our thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding what those thoughts were for.
Yeah.
So most of us as adults are relearning how to do this when our brains are already fully formed.
Yeah.
So listeners, if you have little kids, teach them early.
Mm-hmm.
Start as babies. Teach them, meditate with them as babies, and they
Mm-hmm.
will catch on, and they will be so much better for it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And I'd have to agree, like I know meditation probably saved me from going way off a deeper end than what I actually did, because I started my meditation probably I think in elementary slash middle school, definitely
Hmm.
middle school, but I think it was late elementary whenever I kind of started. But it was because I was watching anime and all this other cool stuff, and martial arts, this and ninjas. And so
Yeah.
what do? They meditate, but I didn't really know what that was. It was just kind of like sit still and be quiet, right? But I do think that having that mental like mindfulness of our bodies and everything just really does kind of it both grounds us and helps us embody ourselves, but at the
Hmm.
same time that's also really freeing too, because for some reason it gives my body the impression that it's safe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And how many people feel safe with themselves?
not a lot.
No. No. And a lot of the times you ask people, do you feel safe where you're living? Do
Mm.
you feel safe with who you're with?
Hmm.
But nobody ever asks, do you feel safe with yourself?
Yeah, that's a hard no.
They may, what they do ask is, have you had suicidal thoughts?
Hmm.
Well, that's totally different than not feeling safe with yourself.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't feel safe with yourself, it's like, I am okay being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like alone by myself doing my own thing. I am okay taking myself out to dinner. I'm okay running, going shopping by myself. Like I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people can't do that.
Hmm.
Like, have you ever taken yourself out to dinner by
Mm,
yourself in a crowded
yeah.
restaurant?
Yeah. It was lunch, but yes.
A lot of people won't do that because they're
Yeah.
afraid of what other people are going to think. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
they're eating by themselves. Like, don't they have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a partner, or it's like
Mm-hmm.
why? But when you feel safe with yourself, you can
Mm-hmm.
do those things by yourself. You can
Yeah.
go on trips by yourself and have an amazing time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Have you gone on a trip by yourself? That's
Yeah. That and it's really weird because like the first trip that I actually did by myself in that manner, it was I had a friend in a recovery group that was working at a Renaissance fair and they gave me comp tickets, and so I was like, cool. But that's a 4.5 hour drive. So and I was like, well, I guess we're going. All right, let's just see what it's about. And after those 2 weekends, that's whenever I met my now wife and everything. And so, like, yeah, it was amazing, but it was scary,
yeah.
And being in recovery at a Ren fair, oh, that's another task all on its own.
Right. Well,
Oh boy.
congratulations for making it through.
Well, thank you.
You're
Well, I mean,
welcome.
I definitely know that it had like I'm glad I was in recovery because I would have made him full of myself and not the like tarot arcane
Right.
kind of fool, but
Right. Yeah.
but to anyone out there in recovery, if you want to go to a run fair, there are sober buddies. Just like let it be known there are sober groups out there. So
Yep. Yeah, and they do have a lot more options for beverages
mm-hmm.
that are not alcoholic.
Yeah.
So there is a way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Turkey
But
legs, lots of turkey legs.
oh, I'm not going to ruin it. Um, but yeah, so if that sleep I think is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation would be number 2, and I think number 3 would be a gratitude practice. Like
Ooh, okay.
what are you already grateful for in your life? And if
Okay.
someone says nothing, right? Like their life is just so horrible, they're not grateful for anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're not grateful for anything? Like do you eat with a fork?
Good
Aren't you
point.
aren't you grateful for eating with a fork? You
Mm-hmm.
could be eating with your dirty hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's you have to put real thought into it.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started my gratitude practice, I was like, I'm grateful for 2-ply toilet paper. Because
Yeah.
this was during COVID. So it was
Uh,
like, toilet paper was scarce. So it was like, I am so thankful for 2-ply toilet paper.
uh-huh. Yeah.
I am so thankful for having the ability to change the temperature of my home.
Mm. Yeah.
And what shifts when you start to really get into the weeds of what you're grateful for, it's that attraction. More stuff that you can be grateful for will come into your life because the universe is going, oh my gosh, she loves everything. And you really have to feel into that gratitude. It's not just whipping a list on a piece of paper and being like, a gratitude list, 10 things a day, what I'm grateful for. Dun, 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 I'm done.
Mm.
No, you have to feel the emotion.
Mm. Okay.
And if you don't know what that emotion feels like, and I can only equate it to Christmas, but think about how you felt Christmas morning
Uh-huh.
when you came into wherever the gifts were and you saw all those gifts under the tree.
Mm.
How excited were you? How grateful did you feel in that moment that
Yeah.
that this was happening?
Mm.
Or you can think of a laughing baby.
Mm.
how grateful are you for hearing a laughing baby, a real belly laugh from a baby? Or find your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the emotion you want to emit when you're doing your gratitude practice.
Mm.
Because you're sending out that emotion, the universe is like, okay, here, there's more of that, so you can have more of that emotion. That's the emotion you want. Okay, here you go. And it'll just start dropping things. It might be like you get to work without a flat tire.
Ooh, yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you've had car trouble for years.
Yeah.
You get that all fixed, right? And you start a
Mm-hmm.
gratitude practice, and your car doesn't break down for months.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
it's the emotion that you're sending out.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, since you brought up the gratitude and stuff, there was a meme I saw not too long ago that was saying, so the universe has a praise kink, I guess. And I was like, well, you didn't have to put it like that. But so whenever we're trying to emit that kind of emotion out, we're not doing it for the whole like I want to be selfish, give me
No,
more.
no, no. It's a lifestyle change,
Mm,
and
okay.
and this is not ignoring. Can I swear on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is not ignoring the shitty stuff that happens
Mm,
in our lives. We're still human.
mm,
We're Our cars are still going to break down. Our bodies are still going to get roughed up once in a while from sleepless nights or car accident, right? Life
mm,
is going to happen. But it's getting to the point where you can let that stuff happen and be like, stuff happened,
mm,
right?
yeah.
It's not about always looking at the silver lining. I do that because that's just who I am. I'm an
Mm,
optimist. If I get a flat tire, I'm like, well, apparently there was an accident up ahead that I was supposed to avoid, and so I got a flat tire. Okay,
mm,
right?
yeah.
I still have days where something might happen and it ruins my hour.
Mm,
But
yeah.
I try not to let things go for very long. I try not to sit in that. But we're human, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to focus on doing our best, and that's going to be different from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
So just do your best in feeling into the emotions that are going to just send out more good feelings.
Mm,
You
okay.
know,
Mm-hmm.
let yourself wallow in what it is that you're feeling when something happens that you don't think is going your way.
Mm,
But don't sit in it for days, months, years. Be aware of, yes, this sucks. Okay, this really sucks. Why did this happen for me?
mm, yeah.
Why did I get a flat tire? Did I get a flat tire because the mechanic last month, when he changed my brakes, said you really need to get new tires? These are getting kind of bald. And you were like, okay, let me think on that. I'll get back to you. And you didn't get it done.
Uh-huh.
Well, accountability, dude. Like, you were supposed to get new tires and you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened because you didn't learn your lesson.
Mm,
It, you know, don't ignore that shit happens, but learn to accept that shit happens and you can move on.
mm-hmm.
Think of all the shit that happened prior to today. You're still here,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're better for it,
Yeah.
but it still happened. It's
Yeah.
it's done, it's gone. Move
Yeah.
on.
Mm, yeah. It sounds a lot like the lesson that I learned as an electrician apprentice. Like I could sit there and I could bitch and moan and complain all I wanted to, crawling through attics or digging a ditch or anything like that. But I quickly found out that it was just eating away more energy, and all I'd have to do is just sit there, look at the task at hand, and go, this is going to suck. Say
Yeah.
it once and then just shut up and do it anyways. And it got done faster, at least, or
Yeah.
felt like it.
Yeah, because you're not holding on to that resentful energy of having to do this task that you really do not enjoy. And you're not going to enjoy every aspect of life
Mm-hmm.
because
No.
you're here for a human experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, everybody says, what is the meaning of life? What is our purpose for being here?
Mm-hmm.
And what I have found through my meditations, through journaling, through talking with my guides, is that part of our mission in this human experience is to come to a point in our lives that we are happy with what we have.
Mm.
It might be
Okay.
material things. It might be the lessons we're learning in the relationship that we're in, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
there are some people who are going to be in relationships that are not good relationships. I am not talking about try to find the happiness within that awful abusive relationship. No.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't like how you're feeling in that relationship, then it is your duty to figure out how can you get the help to help you move on so that you can be happy. It's
Mm.
following the path that is going to bring you joy and bring you happiness and bring you flow.
Mm.
Because when you're in a state of happiness and joy, your life flows in that direction.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
if you keep pushing up against what's not working and
Mm-hmm.
trying to make it work, you're just going to keep hitting the wall.
Hmm. Okay. Huh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm just kind of curious, like, how do we know what's working and what's not? Because I swear this podcast stuff is going to take off eventually.
Does it feel good doing it?
Uh-huh.
Then you stick with what feels good,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not hurting you, it's
Mm-hmm.
not hurting somebody else, then I say keep doing it.
Yeah. Yep.
You
And I
know?
don't see myself stopping anytime soon either. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
real quick, where can people find your book? Because I got
Amazon?
two links. Okay.
Yeah, you can find it on Amazon.
Okay.
It's self-care as a frequency. So this is the cover. It's pink. It's got a frequency. It comes in Kindle, hardback, paperback, and I'm working on the audio version.
Ooh.
So yeah, I got to figure out how to get that onto Audible. We'll see.
Yeah.
It may just be available through special links. Who knows? Um, but also on Amazon, I have two journals that are available
Okay.
as well. And you can find the journals on my website and um, on Amazon.
Awesome. Sweet. And if I'm not mistaken, these actually came out in between our sessions, right?
Yes, yeah. I actually just listened to our last. I listened to our last episode when you had me on.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, and then you and I talked about abundance and
Mm-hmm.
money. And yeah, so the journals I think came out in 2023 and 2024.
Okay.
And then Self Care as a Frequency came out in December of last year.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So man, it makes me feel like it's been way too long, and I did the same thing. I went back and I was like, all right, I need to refresh my brain on this conversation because it's been a while, hasn't it? And it was like sometime in 2024, and I was
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah.
almost been 2 years. What?
Yep. Yeah, it was September of 2024. I still have the tab up on my screen. It was September of 2024 when I first came on.
Oh man. I mean, thank you for just being on again because this is awesome. And I like looking back at the episode, I was like, oh man, like what was I? Oh no.
You've grown so much within your podcast,
I
and
hope so.
you should be incredibly proud of that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to embody it with like myself, I guess, because there's still that
Hmm.
little bit of me that's like, how do I make this pay the bills? Because this is what
Right.
I really like doing, and it's like I don't want to go to a soul sucking job again, but if I have to, I'll have to. But so
Yeah.
I am proud of where I'm at, but it's thanks to guests like you that have been on to shared knowledge, wisdom, experience, all that. Because I don't know about you, but I looked in the mirror long enough and eventually the reflection looks weird and it doesn't look nice, you know? But uh like we get to have these kind of conversations that make people think different and be able
Yeah.
to shift their mindset and learn that self-care is a frequency that they should be able to tap into, tune their body into, and make everything kind of work a little bit better in their favor.
Yeah. And 99% of self care is free.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for not doing self care.
Mm-hmm.
If you are doom scrolling,
Mm.
you have time for self care.
Yeah.
If you are staying up until 11, 12 o'clock at night, you have time to do self care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, did did you read that article? That was maybe not full article. Well, it's an article, but it was a study that was done on doom scrolling. So apparently, people that are doom scrolling are actually losing their personality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Imposter syndrome is a real thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought it was just really interesting too, because it's like, if I'm doom scrolling, if I'm just going through and it's like, oh, that thing made me angry. That thing made me angry. Maybe I'll find something that makes me laugh. Okay, I laughed. Okay, that thing made me angry,
Yeah.
or something. And it's like, they figured out how to get to the dopamine system in our brain. Like,
Yes, they
ooh,
did. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And if your
And,
microphone is on your phone, they are listening. So,
mm-hmm,
if we started talking about funeral homes,
uh-huh.
for, a couple of minutes, I'm pretty sure that I would start seeing reels on funerals or
Uh-huh.
caskets or something like that. I'll let you know if that happens.
Okay.
Um, but but yeah, it's I just recently got off of Facebook. I deactivated my Facebook page because
Mm,
I did not like the energy that was coming across my Facebook page. And I am not someone who doom scrolls. Like I give myself 10 or 15 minutes once or twice a day to look at the reels that my friends send me because they're
mm.
thinking of me and it's like I want to have that connection. But it's funny because I can't see reels on Facebook now that I've deactivated it. So it's very, very short conversations now. But I would get on and just this stuff that was coming across, I could not change the algorithm no matter
Mm,
how hard I tried. And it was because of the reels that they were sending me.
mm.
And then in between, it would show whatever most people were watching.
Huh.
So a lot of political stuff would come across, and I'd be like, hide,
Mm-hmm.
hide. I don't want to see it. But you catch yourself watching one thing for 10 or 15 seconds, and their algorithm is like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it might just be because someone asked me a question and it was playing in the background. So
Mm-hmm.
I got off Facebook. I'm still on Instagram. But the best way to find me is going to be on my website because I am working at getting off social media for a little while.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
because
All right.
it's just I just need a break.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
do
hard.
not blame you. Yeah,
It is
it is
hard.
hard. Yeah, especially whenever the rest of society runs off of it.
Right, and we have small businesses that we feel like rely on social media, which, Facebook,
Mm,
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, those are the major ones.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's part of doing business.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
take a break from it once in a while so that it does
Mm-hmm.
not consume you.
Yeah. Yep. Or I mean, you could always hire a social media account manager or something like that so that
Yep.
you don't have to look at it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can
Huh.
do that.
Man, I thought I had another question. Let's see. We got your book. We got your website.
Yep.
And trying to think. I want to say that I had another question, but it left my brain, so maybe not. But do you think that we could see one in the future again to dive deeper into self-care and what the frequency is all about?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd love that. I would
I
love
would
that.
too. Sweet.
Absolutely.
And do you got any last words for the audience this evening? Because we are getting near the end of this episode.
Yeah, you're worth spending your time on. Don't just minimize life. You know, put your mask on before you put on somebody else's on an airplane. That works for life, period. You know, it's you do have to fill your cup before you fill someone else's. And if you do not have the support in your life to be able to fill your cup, then you've got a lot of thinking to do on how can you fill your cup on your own.
Yeah.
Don't just let it go.
Yeah. Speaking of bowls, I think your cat needs some.
Yeah, she wants attention. I'm surprised it took her this long to come in.
And I mean, speaking on that whole putting on your mask before someone else's, I guess that's like the essence of self-care, you know? And if we don't take care of ourselves, we're no good to anyone else. And for the people out there that are like me that want to help other people, well, guess what? If you can't help yourself, you're useless to help others. So take care of yourself so you can help others.
100%.
And it's weird because it kind of turns almost a paradox, you know? You have to take care of yourself to take care of others. And then that might raise the question of, is this being selfish, taking care of myself so that I can take care of others? But it's kind of like giving gifts to people. You give gifts because it benefits both parties. Like, it's weird how the universe works.
Yeah.
There's
a way. Go ahead.
So, I was just going to say, it's weird how humans decided to like kind of tangle everything up and make a mess of it.
Yeah. I think we are our first job.
Yeah.
The moment we come out of the moment we're born, we are our first job. Unfortunately, our parents, me included with my kids, you know, we thought differently when we first had kids. So my next lifetime, I've learned that lesson. My next lifetime, I'm making sure my kids know that they need to put themselves first so that they can help others. And there are some people who will take advantage of that. And you know, but I think 90% of people who do self-care understand that it is not because you're neglecting somebody else. It's so that you can be there for somebody else.
Gotcha. I love that. So I guess your next book could be "And Boundaries Are a Radio."
Oh, I love that. That is another form of self-care, by the way, that's in my book, is talking about boundaries.
Okay. Well, maybe we can dive into that a little bit more next time and figure out what other rabbit holes we can dive into.
Sounds great. I love it.
Awesome. Well, Tenya, thank you very much for being back on the show, because it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And I see the cat. Hi, cat. Yeah. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. And I mean, just thank you for doing what you do so that you can help people clear up their energies, tune into their self-care, and make the world a better place, one person at a time.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course. And everyone else out there, thank you for listening to Guidance and Recovery on WDJY 99.1 FM. And as always, try to love yourself, love others if you can, but you got to try to love yourself first. If you're having a mental health crisis, you can dial 988 or text 741-741 if you don't want to talk on the phone. And if you're in the LGBTQ plus community, you can dial the Trevor Project up in Canada, and they'll help you out. But until then, just be your favorite version of yourself, and we'll see you next time. That said, much love. Ta-da!